Ribo, the CEO confident here in Dallas, Texas, with Expansion Network accelerating the consciousness of humanity, also known in Latin America as the co-founder and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation. We help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using the local resources. And this is Saturday morning, so that means that we have this amazing show with Judy Machado from Ontario, Canada. Hi, Judy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Angel. So beautiful to see you again Saturday morning. Such a beautiful treat. Thank you so much for everything. And hello, everybody.
Exactly. Hello, everybody. And as you know, this is Reality Check on the Planet, a place where we talk about living, living without fear. We have been for the past programs, shows. We have been interviewing people from all over the world, and we have been checking on what's happening where they live. And again, this is a place of building bridges. It's a place of discernment. It's not a place of being judgmental with anybody. And every single week, basically, we share the experiences that we have been living in the world. Reality Check on the Planet. Again, that's the title of the show. And we like to start the show always with a very special treat, which is this ceremonial cacao that we are so lucky to have Judy, show and sell to the world. So thank you for discovering. Thank you for bringing the ceremonial cacao to every one of us every single day. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel. Oh my goodness. Well, ceremonial cacao, for those of us who don't know, maybe we know a little, maybe we don't, is a master plant medicine. And the indigenous have known for thousands of years how powerful this plant is at bursting open our hearts and expanding our awareness, literally taking us into a higher consciousness. So perfect for when we're feeling fear, perfect for when we have a decision to make, we're looking for some clarity, perfect for just any time really where we wish to expand our awareness and to see more of the world and why we're really here and why everything is really happening. And the more we can get a glimpse of the bigger picture of why everything is happening, the more we can be in a very safe, joyful, fulfilling place, knowing that everything is just transitioning, and that everything is happening for the purpose of evolution, and that we are all in different levels of consciousness, experience our own realities based on those levels of consciousness. And that is why everything is happening, to help the collective consciousness. And so I'm so grateful because this ceremonial cacao came into my life about 4 years ago, and I started to drink it every day. I started to connect every day with this beautiful consciousness, the cacao consciousness, speaking to it directly, asking to receive signs, to get some clarity, to let go of some of my fears, some of my stories, some of my limiting beliefs. And it has been absolutely amazing. I want you to imagine if you had this incredible guru in your life, or think of someone who you respect, who may have been a prophet, let's say, whoever that is, maybe in this existing life or someone who's already transitioned. Imagine if you had access to them every single day. Imagine if you were in their presence every single day, looking into their eyes, having them speak to you, you speaking to them. Well, that is exactly what ceremonial cacao is. Sometimes when we don't see something, we don't believe it, but it is, everything is energy, and it's so, so powerful. And so we're going to start today with just a beautiful little blessing. For those of you who have cacao with you, that's perfect. And you know that every Saturday morning we get together. If you don't have it today, you can have some with you next Saturday, or maybe even your favorite tea, or even just some water if you would like to have just some beautiful liquid that you can just sprinkle your beautiful love into as well. And so we start off by just observing the surface of the cacao, which has so many messages. For me right now, there's a black hole in the middle. There's like a big black dot in the middle. And that always reminds me, whatever the message is, that cacao is taking us beyond the veil of our illusions that are based on our current level of consciousness. And so there's this black hole. More of the journey. And we can smell and just start to connect with all of our senses, because the cacao is going to work with us subconsciously. And it's our subconscious mind that really is running the show. So we want the cacao to connect with our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind. And so we can smell. In a minute, we're going to taste. See if you can feel your heart center right now. And we're going to invite the cacao to take us into this higher consciousness, into a higher space, a higher, more expanded awareness. And we're going to invite the cacao to sprinkle into our awareness some of our beautiful stories that are going to, are just part of our belief systems in the moment. Beliefs that once we release, once we upgrade, will completely change our reality. And so let us drink, let us enjoy, let us connect, let us be grounded as above, so below this beautiful consciousness. Let us open our hearts and let us be taken back home. Namaste, Satnam. We're just going to sit maybe just in another 1 minute of silence as we just enjoy drinking. Drinking this every day, you start to really enjoy the pause, the silence. Thank you so much for this beautiful space we all held together.
Thank you.
Full and beautiful.
Thank you, Judy. Let me ask you something, because I think I've never asked you this. So let me ask you a few questions about what you just showed. Thank you. What we just saw, excuse me. Thank you. So is the mug special? Is the mug or the cup special? What is it from?
Yeah, so this one I actually bought in Albania. Before I had one from Peru, a handmade mug from one of our retreats that we host. And I didn't take that with me on my trip, but this one I bought in Albania. I love it. It's actually signed underneath. It's this beautiful farm to table restaurant in Albania, in this town, and it's this huge restaurant. Everyone in that town is employed by this big restaurant, and they have animals, they have a farm, they have everything there. They have people selling gift shops, so painting. It's so beautiful. And I was called to buy this beautiful one right here. So it is a good idea to have a mug that feels really special to you. I always suggest that as well. You don't have to, but even a sacred space, things around you that feel really good, because you start with this thing, this little space, your sacred space, and then you start to realize, oh my God, everything is sacred. I'm going to turn my whole house into a sacred space. And then, oh my God, everything around me is sacred. So everything starts in these little baby steps. And that is one of the beautiful gifts of cacao, is it starts to open us up to, again, it's seeing little by little just how sacred everything is, including ourselves. And we can't see the sacredness in anything else unless we see it in ourselves first. And so that journey is where cacao takes us.
Beautiful. You mentioned retreats. So do you actually organize retreats?
Yeah. So in
Tell
Peru,
me, tell me more about them.
oh my God. In Peru, just above Lima is a town called Tarapoto. It's called the High Jungle. And we do beautiful retreats twice a year. And of course, during COVID, we had a little pause, but we'll be back and doing this in Tarapoto. They're 8-day retreats. At least they were. We're going to move them into 10. First, they were 7 days, then we made it 8. Now they're going to be 10. I always partner with a beautiful shaman. So there's 4 days of ayahuasca in advance for anybody who would like to come in. I always go in early as well. And then we transition into our retreat. And our retreat, I partner with a beautiful indigenous woman from Tarapoto. Everything is a ceremony with this retreat. River bathing, flower baths, the way we eat every single meal, just everything becomes a beautiful ceremony. And her indigenous roots, sharing the specific way that they do ceremonies as well, and sharing just this delightful 8 days together, starting with yoga and meditation. Last time we had a yogi join us from Argentina. He was incredible. He was there the whole week with us. Just magical.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go to Peru like almost every month for many years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where in Peru were you going?
Yeah, no, I used to go to Lima mostly because
Yes.
I had a lot of clients in Lima. So I used to go all the time. I really love Peru. And I mean, there's so many magic things about Peru. And actually one of the books that changed my life forever, maybe we might have spoken about this book. It's actually a book that happens in the Amazonian, forest of Peru. It's a fiction book, but it's really about energy, and everything is energy, and the wholeness with nature. It's called the Celestine Prophecy. You've probably heard of it. Exactly. It happens in Peru. So and also it reminded me that in 2020, when I went to the Conscious Life Expo, I actually interviewed a shaman, and he told us, and I asked him, hey, where are you from? And he was kind enough to exactly explain to us in Peru where he was from. And he told us, well, I have to take this plane from Peru to that particular town. It's 2-3 hours. And then I have to take a bus. And then the bus is like 6-7 hours. And then I have to actually walk to where my community is. As you know, Peru is a huge country. And I mean, it's let's say it's not like us that there's roads everywhere.
Yeah.
So he literally lived, and that was a great story of connection with Pachamama, right, with Gaia. And he would tell me, so after so many hours of trip, he eventually got to his community that was isolated. And one of the most amazing things that he told me was that they only lived out of two things. They lived out of two things. They have llamas, so they live out of llama meat, and they have potatoes.
Wow.
Those are the two only things that they actually eat in that place. And I said, so how do you get the rest of nutrients?
Yeah.
But they are mostly walking barefoot all the time, so they are earthing all the time. So when you earth, literally, as you know, Judy, you get all the nutrients from the earth. Literally, I mean that's been tested. That's been scientifically proven that you get nutrients from the earth, besides being connected to the earth itself, and you are definitely at the same level of vibration. Well, all the benefits of earthing, literally going barefoot. And it actually, sometimes I impose myself to go to my backyard, and when I have to do something in the backyard, like not to wear anything, even if it's wet or whatever that is, I still want to get the so again, so I mean, I would definitely like to know more, and to, so that you explain people what you do there, and you explain it really beautifully. Everything is a ceremony. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like you really change gears, right? You go to that place, and you are continuously ceremony after ceremony. And let's remember that before, let's say the 19th century, in all those places, all the ceremonies was all that there was. And as you know, when we talk about the former Incas and the Mayas and the Aztecs and all these other pre-Columbus civilizations, they all had all these incredible ceremonies,
Yeah.
and everything was ceremony after ceremony. And I think that people right now, as you know, my mission is to connect the unconnected and generate that connection. And this show is a great example of that, trying to help people connect with each other. Right now, people are craving connection. People are craving connection. So whenever you are going to organize your next retreat in Peru, I'm sure that a lot of people would love to go there to reconnect with themselves, with others, and with Gaia.
Wow, thank you. Yeah. And the idea is they experience 8 days of ceremony, everything ceremony, so that now they can go home and bring themselves into this place of realizing that they can create their own ceremonies, even just having a conversation with somebody. Imagine just looking at somebody and in their mind saying, this is a ceremony I'm having with this person. I'm going to be present. I'm going to give everything I have. I'm going to look into their eyes. I'm going to see into their soul. I'm going to see the love that they are. This is a ceremony that I'm going to have with this person right here. They don't need to know that because they might think you're crazy, but this is the kinds of things that we bring so much presence and so much love and so much compassion. And this is where we start to see beyond these masks that we're all wearing, right? These masks that we're all wearing to fit into for different people, different things. And we're all just learning to get rid of these masks. But when we can be really focused and present and seeing it as almost like a ceremony, we can just be like literally see into the eyes and see beyond and into their hearts, into the soul, into the love that they are. Yeah.
But you said it's crazy, but who defines crazy, right?
Right.
Who defines what is crazy?
Who defines?
I mean, with everything that's going on in the world right now, why considering every single connection with someone a ceremony can and probably some people will consider it weird or crazy, right? You see how all this which is happening in the world is actually it's actually a great thing that's happening. Because we are, definitely awakening ourselves to that comparison, right? To what is really important, what is really weird, what is really meaningful and relevant to our lives. Yeah. So how has your week been?
Oh,
Judy?
my God. Okay, I want to share something so beautiful that's been happening this week. And I think it's really relevant to our conversation today around fear, because there's so much fear in the world, and there's so much spitting out from the media or from wherever it is we're looking, or just looking around. There's people who are in a lot of fear. We can see in their faces. And so what can we do to help us to realize, to get out of a place of vibration of fear and into a vibration of love? And one of the beautiful things, we all know this, and the more we can do this, the more we can transition into this place of love. And that is, how can we help others? How can we shift our attention from the fear that we are experiencing? I'm fearful of the future, let's say, to how can I help these people that are in need over here? So bring your attention to there, because the best feeling in the world is to help other people. And so I have, this week, so for example, I'm going to share one story, and then we'll get into a few others. I have a friend of mine who's a stay-at-home mom. She has 2 children, and she decided to homeschool them at the beginning of COVID. And so obviously her life, she was working a little bit, and then she was homeschooling. So her life shifted a bit, and she thought, well, what can I do for my career to earn money now that is really going to help me now that I have these kids at home? I want to help these kids too. She's all about with homeschooling. Once a week, she does a little excursion. She takes them somewhere. So she's calling all these, she called this chocolate factory to do a little tour for them, all this cute stuff. So she said, what can I do that's going to help us to, have some income, but also do something that I love? And so she's Argentinian. And so she loves to make empanadas and alfajores. So she decided, you know what? I make the best empanadas and alfajores I've ever tasted. I'm going to make these, and I'm going to see if people love these. So she called me when I came back from my trip. she's like, oh, I'm doing this thing now. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, I need to come see you. So this week I went to visit her. I finally got a chance to head out to see her. And oh my God, I took some videos. I'm actually going to have one of my beautiful interns create a little video for her website and for her social media. It was amazing. I didn't realize, I thought I was just picking them up. She was making some for me to see too. So she was putting like the egg on top. She put it into the oven so that I could see exactly how to make them when I get home because they're frozen. Then the pictures, we tasted them. We took videos. We had so much fun. And I bought so much, and I'm so excited to share this. I have so many people in my life who I know locally. I also have this entire neighborhood WhatsApp group over here. And I know when I tell this story, they're all going to want to support her. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, like, how wonderful is this? And I started to think about, this is the future, right? Whoever has the best toffee cake recipe, whoever makes the best, whatever, just start doing that if that's what you love. And then we'll all just start buying from each other. And I started to think about how things just became so convenient, right? These big box stores, everything that, one place, one stop shop. And that's true. That was our consciousness. That was our mentality. Fast, 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 living in the program, no time to rest, no time to think, just do, make lots of money, buy lots of things. That was the program. Guess what? The program's been altered a little bit, hasn't it? The past year, people have been literally forced into their homes to start thinking about what's really important to me. And guess what? I have a friend who I buy essential oils from. I have a friend I buy nail polish from. I have another friend I buy pre-spices. They're part of network marketing companies as well, some of them. So this week was all about, okay, guess what? I have another friend who has, it's not network marketing, but it's this beautiful, big, she was actually fired from the corporate world years ago, loves making falafels, hummus, all of these beautiful, beautiful foods. She's Palestinian. And she started this company, created this kitchen, bought a space, created a kitchen, had it BRAC approved, government approved, all those approvals for, your kitchen. She now has this huge empire. She does private label. And I saw she just launched an online store during COVID. So guess what I did this week too? Ordered a ton of veggie burgers from her, all kinds of veggie burgers, all kinds of falafels. And I just thought, you know what? You know how much joy that brought to me? Even though I could have gone to the big box store, the grocery store up the street, and bought my veggie burgers there and everything else, empanadas and all that stuff, to take the time to place an order with each of them was the most beautiful thing. And I wonder if that might, who's in your life? Who is in your life? And especially, I'm thinking even network marketing. I used to years ago be in network marketing. And I remember there was this whole like, oh, get away from my family members in network marketing. It's like, you know what? What if they're offering something that you're already buying somewhere else that you actually like? Of course, you're going to do this if you love their product, of course, only if you do that. But you know what? When you think about it, there are so many people in my life, especially, who are just representing different products, different things. I have another friend who has makeup with Arbonne. So why would I go buy makeup at Sephora or somewhere else when I've already tried that product? It's beautiful. Of course I want to support her. She has this own business as well. Like, how beautiful is that, right? And I just look at my friend Paula, who's making her empanadas and her alfajores, which are the best empanadas and alfajores I have ever had in my entire life. Angel, I wish you could try these. I wish that you were closer. I cannot even believe this. And I just thought, this is the love you can feel. You can taste the love in these. It's so beautiful. And that was such an incredible thing that happened to me this week that I wanted to share. And I haven't even finished this week because this was my week about doing that. And I also one day, oh my God, Angel, I have an idea. One day I want to share on one of our calls a beautiful ritual I do every Monday morning. It's called my beautiful Money Monday ritual. Starts with cacao, and it's just gratitude, blessings. But I also go through what happened last week. What did I receive? What are my intentions for this coming week? And then once a month, the very first Monday of every month, I do a bigger version of that. That's a few hours long, where I actually do all my bookkeeping, my P&L statements, finalize it, starting with a cacao ceremony with some beautiful music. And also giving. That's when I love to make my donations on my Mondays, my beautiful money Mondays. It's look at all this I'm receiving. How can I give today as well? Let's keep this flow going. And so it just reminds me a lot of this week with these beautiful people in my life, and just realizing everything I buy now when I go to a grocery store, everything I buy, I either think, can I go to a little health food store? I know there's a little, a couple of tiny little health food stores in the area, a little bit further. Can I go buy it from them instead? Because I know they're family owned. And, or do I know somebody who's representing a company and selling this from their beautiful home offices? They have their home-based business. Can I support them instead? What a beautiful shift in this world when we can do that. And that is an example of how what's happening in the world, the control and the manipulation that's happening, we can dictate when that ends. We can do that by no longer being consumers of it. No longer being a consumer of the television, right? No longer being a consumer of the media, of the news. Guess what? They have no ratings, they have no business. So it's so simple. We are the ones who can make the shift. And yes, there's so many of us who aren't there yet, who don't understand that yet, but we can start that right now. And so we can start to spend time, take time out of our beautiful, precious days and give some of that time to some of these beautiful people who have businesses as well from home. We're already buying stuff, similar stuff, taking the time. It is the most beautiful joy that it can give. So incredible. Another beautiful thing, Angel, I'm going to share. Every morning, I sit outside in my house. I live on a street that's not super busy, but right next to it is a super busy street. So a lot of people park here and then they go and they shop in restaurants and stuff like that. So I get a lot of people walking by. And I sit outside every morning, have my cacao or my coffee, depending on where I'm at in the day or which one I'm drinking. And there's this beautiful Chinese lady who lives up the street. She doesn't speak a word of English. And she comes with her little cane and her mask, and she walks every day doing her exercise. And every day she comes to say hi to me. She stands in front of my house and she goes, and I say, hi, how are you? Beautiful day. And we have this whole hand conversation, right? It's so cute. And just the other day, we actually stopped and we had this beautiful eye gazing. It must have gone on for 3 minutes where she didn't say anything, I didn't say anything. We just smiled at each other and we were able to hold that, both of us. And it was the most beautiful moment. No hand gestures or words could ever replace the connection that you get with somebody when you're silent and you're just staring in their eyes and you're sending love. It was magical. And so taking the time to do things like this, to just slow down your life, let your life, how beautiful is it that we've been given this opportunity to slow down our lives, continue that. How can we continue that every day? How can we be more present with one another? How can we smile and just, I just love walking down the street and just saying hi to everybody. Everyone thinks I'm crazy, like you said. It's that whole but I'm like, hi. And sometimes I'll have a new friend with me and they're like, do you know that person? No. I just, because people are like, what? Who? And they're like, oh, do I know that person? But it gives them something different.
It happens, exactly. It looks like we're at similar levels of insanity because I do this exact same thing.
I love it.
Maybe you don't know, but I drive a convertible. So when I go through the neighborhood, people look at my car, right? And maybe sometimes I have some music, I have some classical music, or maybe some boom, boom, boom music. It depends. Yeah. I really love music, and I have a very deep connection with music. And very often, exactly, people are walking their dogs or just exercising, and I say hello, hi, I wave at them.
Hi. They're like,
exactly. And some wave back, and others don't. And the funny thing is, often I go with my kids. I still have 2 young kids, and often I go with them, and they don't like me to do that. And another thing that happened this week, to your point, is again all about how, since we were kids, we were raised and educated as to fit in, right? And this week, for instance, was the last week here in the north of Texas for the schools. So my kids are on vacation now. And the reason why I'm making this point is because there were like two different parades, like through the carpool line, because one, the principal of the school is actually retiring, so we had a special like parade, like going carpool and saying thank you and everything, and we got her a present and everything. And another one was because it was the graduation of the fifth grade, and one of my kids is a fifth grader. So we twice we had the opportunity to parade using the carpool line or through the carpool line twice, just to celebrate the school and the school teachers and the principal. And my kids were like terrified by the fact that I was like, I had an emoji, a physical emoji, showing like, we love you, we love the school, we love the teachers, we love the principal. And I also had the music very loud. I put the music very loud with a song the title is "You Are a Superstar." You are a superstar. And it's funny because very often when I put my preferred playlist, the first song that plays to me is "You're a Superstar." So, and my kids, whenever we're parading and I was doing all these things, right? Weird things.
Yes.
They were, oh my God, Dad, don't do that, Dad. Exactly. And the first one, they joined me, but they were like switching off my music all the way through the carpool, switching off. And the second one, they didn't join. So it was just my wife and I. And the teachers were so happy, and they were dancing with our music. Of course, that's what they want. That's what they want. They want to have fun. As I said before, people are craving for connection. People are craving for connection. So that's why this, what we do every single Saturday here is so special. It's explaining those stories of connection. And again, have these stories with your kids. Tell them why it is important just to behave, but really childlike, really childlike, because it's going back to who we really are. We really are childlike, really. And the other day I was having a conversation with someone, why, what's the role of the kids in the world, right? Or in the family. And I really believe that the kids are in our families, wherever they are in our families. We might have kids or not, it doesn't matter. It might be someone else's, it might be the neighbor's kids, whatever. But the kids are in our lives really to teach us lessons. I believe strongly that the kids actually pick us as parents, or as or as aunts or as uncles. I really believe that. I totally believe that the kids choose us in order to teach us lessons. The same way that, we have to help them grow up and everything, but we should be listening. And actually, to the point that one time I was coaching a CEO, and one time I told the CEO, I mean, may I suggest you something which is extremely personal and intimate, right? And very respectfully. And I told him, why don't you have kids? Honestly, I told him, why don't you have kids? And I know I know you're very busy, you're very successful, you have a very successful professional life and personal life. But, what about having some lessons taught to you every single day from your kids at home? Literally, that's a true story. I mean, that's definitely, that's a true story. That's a true story. So anyway, that's why I love so much to have this space. Every single Saturday, we talk about different ways of living your life without fear, and making this really reality check on what's going on in the planet. Please, if people want to know more about you, about your ceremonial cacao, about your ceremonies, about your retreats in Peru, what should they do?
Beautiful. My website is goddesstemplecacao.com, and that's all my social media too: Instagram, Facebook, Goddess Temple Cacao. Very simple. And I have a beautiful free download on my website, which is a little printed foldable planner. Helps you with the recipe, how to create a sacred space, how to drink your cacao, what are the steps that you can take and really connecting deeply with your cacao after you've made it. So it's all there for you. I have beautiful videos on YouTube to help you to understand cacao as well. And of course, reach out to me if there's any questions you have. It would be my joy, my pleasure to support you as well.
Awesome. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure to share
Thank
this
you,
space with you.
Joel. Oh my God, you are
Judy,
so
thank you.
beautiful. I can't wait one day to meet you.
Exactly. We will eventually meet. I don't know where in the world, but we will definitely
We
meet.
will.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Big hug. Oh my God. Thank
Absolutely.
you so
Big
much.
hug. And everybody watching us, thank you very much for being with us today. Again, if you want to reach out to Judy, she already told us her website. You can see how it is written here because you see it must be there, I guess.
Yes.
You see how it is written next to her name, Judy Machado, and then Goddess Temple Cacao. So you see it there. Okay. And so thank you for being with us today as every single Saturday. I'm sure that you have enjoyed this conversation as much as we have. And we hope to see you soon again next Saturday. Okay. Have a good weekend and a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.